Today, I'm gonna build an outdoor kitchen underneath my tiny pavilion. But I've got two problems. I don't have power or plumbing out here, so I'll have to solve that. Welcome to Haxman, y'all.
The first thing I had to do to this pavilion was put a coat of stain and sealer on it. Now, actually, Kim did most of it, but, you know, I'm gonna take the credit for it since I'm the only one on video. Next, I went ahead and sealed the concrete slab. Now I can start cutting 2x4s down to sizes to use for the kitchen base cabinet.
I'm using a variety of old lumber for this. I'm trying to save money because I always end up with extra wood. But you're not gonna see this frame, so the lumber I use doesn't really matter. This is only part of the frame that I'm getting done right now. I wanna get this outer part built so I can go check my layout because I had to order stuff like the brick veneer without really knowing full dimensions. So once I can go kind of set this out and I can know, yeah, everything's gonna fit, then I can proceed.
As usual on projects like this, pocket hole joinery is your best friend.
So I have to decide where I want to put this exactly. Originally, I was going to put it flush with these beams this way. The further I bring it this way, I'm going to encroach onto my walking space behind me because my grill or smoker is going to go behind me. And I've got to have a pull out in here. So, you know, I still have to put the backer board on here and the brick veneer that you haven't even seen yet, but it's on order. Hopefully it'll be here soon. Right here is where I want a small sink. I don't have this totally figured out how I'm going to do this yet because, as I mentioned, I don't have any plumbing that comes out here, but what I did do was dig a trench and I was able to tie into my water line coming from my well, and I've brought that almost all the way to right here, and you can see where I've got that. I still don't know exactly what I'm gonna do about the sewage, is that what you'd call it, that comes from it? It's not really sewage. What is that? What would you call that? I don't know. Anyway, the drain system. Let me show you what my original plan was. Let's check out the Hurricane bug out camper. It's been a while. Let me show you what I did in here. Ooh, it's so dark. Yeah, what I've done is I've been storing a bunch of junk in here. Ooh, look at those windows. That's for a tiny house. Do you want to see me build a tiny house? Look in here. I have this pump that is pulling water from this tank right here, and that supplies the water, and then the drain just comes down into this container right here. So that was the original plan. But then the more I thought about it, I thought it's too complicated. I'll just tie into the well water, and I think I'm probably gonna do something like that for the wastewater. So I figured out how to get water out here, but as you can plainly see, there is no pipe in this concrete base. If I'd had a little forethought, you know, I'd have poured the pipe in place, but I wasn't sure where anything was gonna go. So I'm just gonna put that pipe right here, and I'm gonna find out how good a masonry hole saw works that I bought off of Amazon. Now, with the layout established and I know everything's good, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting out the face frame, and I'm just using 2x6 pine to do this because, well, I mean, let's keep it simple.
With the face frame assembled and sanded, I can start cutting out the dividers for the cabinet. And I'm just using 3/4 inch exterior plywood.
Ooh, this looks a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, it's like the lights.
Oh, well, you got. Well, I should have just built this whole thing in here. Would have made more sense.
Oh my.
What did I not build right? 72.5. La, 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 la. And it is. What did I do wrong here? Holy crap. That's 77. Well, that explains why it ain't fitting. I think I should have made this back here 77 inches. This out here is the size that it has to be. I can't make that any smaller or everything won't fit. So I'm just going to extend this back part. It's almost like I've worked with myself before. You know what I mean? So I knew what to expect. Actually, if I worked for me, I'd fire me. Actually, I do work for myself. I quit. Yeah, good thing I don't pay myself by the hour. Wow, that fit way gooder that time. Next thing I gotta do is get it level. Let's see how this looks. Oh my gosh, that's spot on. Look at that right here. You know, you're not even looking at the right bubble, goofball.
Oh my gosh, I don't
Focused
know.
on the wrong bubble.
I was trying to
Sheesh.
get a shot.
Look at that bubble, huh?
Beautiful,
You know what that tells
babe.
me? You know what that tells me?
What's that tell you?
Whoever poured this slab knew what they were doing. You know what I'm
I
saying?
did. I did.
2x4 screwed together. I've got a hole drilled. I've got a tap con with a washer. I'll drive that in, or I'll screw that down into the concrete. And this I'll be able to put right up against the inside wall of the cabinet, and then I can take shims and raise the cabinet up to get it where it needs to be, level, and then I can just screw through this 2x4 into the cabinet. So if I push that all the way down, I'm good. All right, I'm almost positive that I've got some cement board in the shed here with all my other junk. Well, there it is. Oh, it ain't gonna be bad.
Right on cue, the UPS man arrives with my brick veneer. Watch that front door when the dogs hit it. 3 things concern me with this brick, and that is it the right color? Did I order enough? And are they broken?
Oh, that's pretty.
It's not the right color though.
Are you sure? Oh yeah, the other has a little more wood. That one has a little more gray in it. Should be varied.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not terrible.
No.
It's not terribly far off. Could have been worse. 2 litres of water. Half a bag of mortar. You want like a 1/2 inch of mortar?
So Kim had to get in on the action of laying the brick veneer, but then we figured out the fastest way to do this was if she did the buttering and I did the laying.
Look at all these broken ones in here. Honestly, it's a bit ridiculous. I mean, but that's a good quarter of that box is just busted.
What do you think?
I love it. It's probably one of my favorite projects.
You want to do more of them?
Nope.
Okay. Now I'm going to pour a concrete countertop, but I'm not going to pour it in place because I've done those before and I just don't like those as well as the precast ones. So I've got to get the measurements here and then build the form for this. And I want to get the concrete countertop done before I go and grout this brick veneer. And I'm going to build that form. Oh man. Using this sheet of melamine, partly because it's super smooth and it'll give me a nice slick finish, and because it gives you a handy workout because it weighs a frickin' ton, man. Form's done. I just have to make room for this sink and for this faucet. So basically I need a giant hole and a small hole in the countertop. And I have to be careful that I don't have a brain fart and put it on the wrong side, because when I'm standing at the counter, it's gonna be on my right side. So I've got to make sure that in fact, I put the sink on the left side because everything's upside down and in reverse. And to attach this, I'm going to use this polystyrene foam spray adhesive. Now I got to make the hole for the faucet. And you can see here on the faucet how thin this is, but then I've got this nut that's got to screw on from the bottom and how wide that is. Well, this depth right here is not as deep as the overall countertop. So therefore I've got to allow a recess for this plastic nut. Now I could have kept this simple and I could have just, well, I mean, honestly, it just dawned on me, okay? I could have made this out of foam. But last night I thought, hey, I got a 3D printer. I could 3D print something instead. And so I did. I printed this. That's the threaded part. This is the recess for the plastic nut. Now you could also do this out of just some PVC pipe. The styrofoam probably would have been easier. Obviously this is not perfectly round, so I've got more learning to do.
To finish this form up, I just went around all the seams with black silicone. And then I got a call from the freight company that my new smoker was out front. That's right, baby. I got the Traeger Timberline XL because, listen, I'm a simple man. I don't have time. You know I'm not going to keep up with smoking things. I need something to tell me when it's ready.
I let the silicone caulk dry for 24 hours. I've brought the mold out here. Oh, I also put a mold release in here because, yeah, I made myself a note so I wouldn't forget. I think we know I have a problem forgetting that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 quarts of water in there. I'm gonna use Michael Build's method for doing this countertop, where he used rapid set mortar mix, as you can see right here. Sets up in an hour, but I'm gonna tweak his design just a little bit. 1 55-pound bag of rapid set mortar mix. That's pretty thick, so what he recommends, 1 packet of flow control in each one of these. And this is a water reducer. I'm gonna use this set control, and you can see this is a retarder additive. This retards the concrete. I don't think I have to tell you, you don't want to get this on your skin, okay? 1 packet of this is supposed to slow down the dry time by 15 minutes. So I could use a little bit extra time. Michael actually didn't use any rebar in his because this is strong enough, and he actually stood on it like an hour after he took it out. But I'm gonna put some rebar in mine. Whew. About rolling it up. I can feel it starting to set up now. It's been, I don't know, 45 minutes. So again, following the directions from Michael Build's channel, I'm just gonna keep it misted until it totally sets up. I don't want it to dry out too fast.
While the countertop sets up, Madison and I went and put the smoker together.
The grill is assembled. The countertop is still drying. It's setting up here. As you see, I've kept it wet. It's still a little wet. I could probably take it out right now, but I don't want to do that. Before I do that, I want to run a cord through here, or actually electrical, I should say. Because my pellet grill needs electricity, I got to get electricity out here. Luckily, for once, I had a little bit of forethought. Come over here and look. See right here? See that little hole right there? I'm going to run my electrical through that. I had a bunch of this stuff left over. I didn't want to go out and buy a bunch of new stuff. Some 12-2 wire right here. This is conduit that is actually made for, I'm pretty sure, for running power underground, but I'm going to use it out here because I had it, and therefore that makes it free. Next thing I have to do is pull my 12-2 wire through this. All right, no biggie. I just have to shove 40 feet of 12-2 wire through here. The time is going to fly. As I put more of this wire in here, the friction just becomes where you can't even get the wire in. So I'm gonna try a trick that we used, and that is Dawn dish soap. I'm just gonna be very generous with it. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, I'd say so. I give up. This ain't happening. Oh, there's a... I'm attaching the cord to the post using these straps and stainless steel screws.
I ran the cut into the cord through an outdoor electrical box and into a new outlet. Now I can release the concrete countertop. And let me just say, okay, 3D plug, bad idea.
Okay. Oh, that went way better. That went way better. Okay, so what I need for you is get the forks kind of lined up right there. Okay, turn it down.
Lower.
Okay, back on up.
Back up.
I told you. I told you. Don't put your finger before.
I did. And it just happened. You should have done like a slant.
to roll things up.
Yeah. I hope my measurements are okay and it fits between the posts. Now, I can't just plug the Traeger grill into an outlet that plugs into nothing. So let me show you how I'm gonna get power to the grill. I'm gonna be using my Jackery 2000 Plus system here, and I'll go over some cool features of this in a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and plug the grill in, and hopefully it works like I think it's gonna work. Plug the grill in. And of course, eventually it'll go in there, but I just wanna test the system first. Power. Smokesman. Oh, what? With the smoker running at 508 degrees, the Jackery says that I'm only pulling about 22 watts. I've got like 76 hours available. Pretty sure I'm not gonna smoke anything longer than that. Now, whenever I use the induction cooktop, it will draw more power. So, once I install the Jackery into that spot right there, I wanna be able to get some juice to it. And the way I'm gonna do that is by installing this 100 watt bifacial solar panel to the roof. This Jackery 2000 Plus is perfect for me because I can power not only my outdoor kitchen, but I can also bring it in for emergency power. Jackery also made this video possible by sponsoring it today. You can pull 3,000 watts of power with its 2,000 watt hour battery, or you can run these in parallel for 240 volts and expand it to 24,000 watt hours with 6,000 watts of power available. Now, in a situation like a hurricane, the 2000 Plus has a 30 amp outlet perfect for powering our camper for evacuation, or we can stay home and power all our necessary appliances with the 420 amp 120 volt outlets. It has USB-A and USB-C chargers for your small appliances, as well as a 12 volt port. Now, you can connect the Jackery through a transfer switch to power your home in an emergency, keeping freezers, refrigerators, well pumps, and even the AC running. And using lithium iron phosphate batteries that are good for 10 years of use means I don't have to worry about dangerous fumes or running out of fuel. Because I can charge this Jackery 2000 Plus using 600 watts of solar in just 2 hours. Don't take my word for it though. Search Jackery 2000 Plus, 1000 Plus, or 3000 Pro online to learn more. I'll put links in the description as well. And when purchased from Jackery, you'll get a 5-year warranty.
Now I can stain the wood on the cabinet the same color that I stained the pavilion. You'll notice also that I put a floor in the bottom of the cabinet as well as a toe kit.
Right into the piping bag. I don't know if there's a better way to load that or not. There we go.
Nice. Are you gonna smooth it out when you're done?
Yeah.
Now you may be able to tell that I've never done this before, but I have to say it was going swimmingly until it didn't. Okay, Kim and I had previously talked about doing a German schmear on here, and at this point, right here, my piping bag burst. And I decided, yeah, we're doing a German schmear because I didn't have a piping bag anymore.
Oh my gosh. What are you doing?
And it was at this moment I decided, maybe I'm not doing a German schmear.
So we discussed the German schmear, right?
Yeah, kind of, for a second.
Well, okay, well see what had happened was my bag broke.
Your bag broke. What
Yeah.
bag?
So it had broke. And I had to hurry up and get this stuff on here.
Before I saw it?
Well, see, a lot of this is coming off though.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
a lot more than that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I want to see. These bricks are so pretty and antique.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
them.
But a lot of it wasn't coming off. I'm struggling here, okay? But I think in the end, it's gonna turn out good.
Now I can finally go ahead and set the sink in and the faucet. To put the sink in, I'm just gonna put a big thick bead of silicone around the opening here. Next up, the faucet. Look at all that room there. Hey Kim, can you hand me the channel locks? Give me the channel locks. It's the red handle. Red handle. Thank you.
I'm using a 1-inch ball valve and an adapter that will connect to the line that goes from the 1-inch pipe to the faucet.
I'd love to be able to tell you what these parts are that I'm using, but I don't know. They just fit and they worked, so that's what I got. This has a, what is this? Don't worry about it. Anyway, this goes right here, and then I got this will go on the bottom here to kind of keep it on there. I have a piece of this tubing left over that I bought to replace our old tubing that kept leaking on our crappy pool. All right, here. So that'll just drain right down there into that bucket.
Now I can finally connect the water line from the faucet all the way over here to my maze of water lines that are buried over here by the garden that run from the well.
Here we go. There that goes. All right, time to put the slides in. I didn't show myself building these because I just figured it'd be kind of boring. Second slide. And on this first slide, well, on the second slide, is where I'm going to be putting the jackery. I'm going to plug in my solar panel to the back of the jackery. My extension cord that I ran around, I'll plug into the front of my jackery. Now for the big slide out. And that is for my 12-volt freezer refrigerator. Refrigerator on one side or freezer, and freezer or refrigerator on the other side. I can switch them around. And of course this refrigerator can run off of either 12 volt or 120, but I'm going to use the 12 volt because that'll be even more efficient. So I'll just plug that in there, and I can plug this right into the 12 volt port on the jackery. Slide that back in. Now I can plug the smoker in over here. There we go. I started out with an empty space where I wanted to be able to cook outdoors. Now I've got water, I've got a smoker, I've got a refrigerator, and I've got power where I had no plumbing or power to begin with. I'm pretty freaking stoked about this thing. Kim, how do you feel about it now that it's done?
It's awesome, I love
You
it.
don't hate it anymore?
No.
Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please check out this video and you'll see how this entire thing started and where it's going. And I will see you next time.